Hello, everybody. If anybody's going to join me or not, doesn't matter. Really, I don't really have a very big audience, and that's okay. Plus, it's work hours right now, so at least where I am. So there's that. Hey, everybody, how you doing? My name is Adam, and this is about the first broadcast. I don't do live broadcasts very often, and there's a reason for that. I don't have a very big yeah, and this is actually a horrible time of day to be doing it. No, we are coming up on the summer season, and that is great in the area that I live in, simply because of the longer days. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and during late spring, early summer, it stays light out until almost 10 p.m. It's great because we get way too long of a time where it gets dark like at 3 p.m. and doesn't light up again until like after 8 a.m. That just lasts too damn long. So it's always an exciting time when late spring, early summer arrives, just for the longer days. Now, if it took some of the heat away with it, that'd be great. Like I recently got a haircut, and I feel like my head is on fire right now. And I'm downstairs where the cool usually congregates, but it's just actually we got a bunch of clouds in the sky. The backyard looks sunny, but from where I'm sitting right here, there's a whole bunch of clouds in the front. So maybe there's some greenhouse being held in, but it's just a little warm today. It was a warm weekend. But I'm here to talk about, so summer's almost upon us. And starting on May 30th, there is a deal. We'll be here for a 3-day park pass ticket deal at the Disneyland Resort. And what that means is that on eligible days from June 10th through September 26th, 2024, 3-day passes, one park per day, not the hopper, but one park per day, will run as low as $50 per day for kids tickets and as low as $83 per day for adults. You're not saving too much, but it is a little bit of a savings. And that's always good because Disneyland ticket prices are, but for what they offer, they're not too bad. It's just that they've gone up incrementally, like averaging twice a year for long time now. And it's getting to the point where people are being priced out. But for what you get and the amount of time you can stay and use all of their resources and utilities, it's still not a bad deal. Now, that's good. But also, because of the length of time of this ticket, availability to use it, that extends into the Halloween season. And that means that you might be able to get some time in on the Haunted Mansion, which is under refurbishment right now and has been for a while and will be closed almost all summer. Um, yeah, so that's a possibility. It's probably going to be the Haunted Mansion holiday layover still when it reopens. They're starting the Halloween time like 2 weeks early this year, probably so they don't have to make over the mansion back into its old or its regular. I'm going to say regular very loosely here because it seems like that damn holiday version stays up too freaking long as is, and we're not going to see the normal Haunted Mansion until like July. I mean, not July, February of 2025, probably at the earliest. So I don't know. The Haunted Mansion overlay is okay until you really think about what's going on there, where the citizens of Halloween Town are, trying to take over Christmas, and apparently they succeeded with one house that was already haunted. And they're patting themselves on the back throughout the whole thing like it's some achievement. It's like, no, this but anyway. But it does have some good lighting throughout it. It's the only time I can see much of anything in the graveyard scene, because usually it's too darn dark. But in the holiday overlay, that's all snow covered, so everything is kind of white and happy, and so it's really easy to see things then. What you're probably not going to be able to see though is it's highly doubtful anyway that these tickets will extend to a point to even see like a soft opening of Tianu's Bayou Adventure, which is replacing Splash Mountain and has been replacing Splash Mountain for a while now. Hey, and there's also deals on on-site hotels, which I wouldn't stay at anyway because they're too darn expensive and I'm only there to sleep. But yeah, they're running some deals on those too. I'd rather stay at a hotel across the street. There's some good ones. Even like the Del Sol it's like the worst one I've stayed at right across the street, but it's still not bad. I mean, it's right there until the Eastern Gateway project comes along and closes that entire entrance there. Parkview Inn is good. There's a Howard Johnson is a little further away, but I heard that's okay. The Del Sol is right there. One of the best westerns is right there. It's all very convenient. It's just right there, right at the crosswalk to get across the street. It's not bad. And yeah. So Pixar Fest is going on now through August 4th. And that's a celebration going on now. It's mostly just food and chances to get pictures with Pixar characters, and there's a parade. I'm not really big on parades. I've liked a few of the parades. I always loved the Electric Light Parade. I mean, that one didn't have any problems for me at all. The Paint the Night Parade was okay. I loved the floats. I couldn't stand the music. And I really loved Soundsational. That was a great one too. Otherwise, I'm not a big fan of the parades, especially during like Christmas time, where there's a parade every like 2 hours that just divides the park in half. It's like trying to get somewhere. Stop cutting me off. Yeah. So there's, like I said, it's mostly food, pictures with characters. I've heard some good word about the food options. Not all of the food options, but some of them are good. I'm not going to say which ones are the best because that's totally a choice of taste. If you're going, you're just going to have to try them for yourself and tell me. Um, that said, I don't know how long they've been doing it, but I know last year Disney leaned really heavily into the cold brews, and it looks like they're doing it again. And cold brews are hit and miss with me. There are some good ones, but most of the time I think it's just lazy coffee making. And that's just me. Doesn't mean it's everybody. That's just me. Okay. And when I think about the food and what the park normally offers, I'd probably just stick to the normal food offers because, number one, I've gone to the resort a lot. So, in a lot of cases, sticking to the regular food options, I know what I'm going to get. And the park offers some great food. It really does. For theme park food, there's some top-notch stuff there, which is hard to admit. It's not all good, but there's some really good stuff there. I like the Incredible burgers are pretty darn good, unless they're a chicken, like Incredible Chicken, like a vegetable-based chicken product, and that's never good. I've never had anywhere a vegetable-based chicken something that turned out good. It's all crap. And judging from reviews on the Impossible Chicken options that pepper the park sometimes, I can see I'm not alone in thinking that. But when it's like a Incredible Burger, yeah, they're usually pretty darn good. I'm going to say they're expensive, but all the food there is expensive. However, something I did learn when I was trying to save money down there at one point years ago is that eating in the park will actually save you time if you're being there to be in the park than leaving the park and going and finding a restaurant, because those restaurants are going to charge a pretty close price and they take forever to get your food out to you because it's such a busy area. There's a incredibly busy McDonald's almost across the street from the park, and you don't even have to order much, but it's gonna take about an hour to get your food out to you, no matter what you order. So I just eat in the park, or this depends on where you're staying. Some of the hotels do offer pretty good breakfasts. The Parkview Inn used to offer a great breakfast and a great dinner for free. They don't do the dinner. I don't think they do the breakfast anymore, which is astounding. But yeah, the Parkview Inn used to be a fantastic place to stay with all the freebies they'd give you. That was great. I miss that. But these days, I've been a timeshare owner for the past 11 years, so I almost always, not always, but almost always stay a little bit up the street at the Worldmark Wyndham Tower on Catella. They don't offer anything, but they do. The rooms are just apartment units. So there's like a kitchen in there and everything. So I just go grocery shopping the day I check in and make myself some breakfast at the hotel room so that I'm not paying a breakfast price in the park. If I'm going to do any of the breakfasts in the park, it's always going to end up being character breakfast just so I can have an all-you-can-eat thing. And those are fun anyway. The Minnie and Friends breakfast on Main Street can possibly get you in. I believe it used to be able to get you in if you scheduled it, because you have to schedule a time. But you used to be able to schedule a time to get into the park before it even opened. That was nice, because it gets you in the park. Otherwise, for food, I've always preferred the Goofy's Kitchen in the Disneyland Hotel because it was actually made to be a buffet. Yeah, I always thought Minnie and Friends was not laid out as well as it could have been, because that's meant to be more cafeteria style than it is buffet style, and it showed. Alright, so there's that. Yeah. Yep. So Fantasmic comes back on May 24th, 2024. That's not even 2 weeks from now. There's going to be 2 showings a night, every night for ever, probably. Yeah, say goodbye to the quiet nights on the rivers of America because it's going to be busy. The show's been gone for a while because the previous dragon burned up. Yeah, the show is going to come back without a physical dragon, as far as I know. I know that they are supposed to be building a new one. I don't know when it's going to appear. But yeah, for a while it's not going to, they're not supposed to have a physical dragon for a while. So, and the show is also going to be changed. They're getting rid of the Pirates of the Caribbean segment, which I don't know if they ever got it working quite right. The premise seemed awesome, but I know for the first several months it wasn't working as well as it was supposed to. And yeah, so they're getting rid of that, and they're bringing back the Peter Pan segment that the pirate scene replaced. So that should be fun. And what else? Okay, the entirety of Critter Country is closed as I'm making this, and that kind of sucks. But it's only, well, 2 of the rides. The Haunted Mansion is closed, has been for a while. Splash Mountain is closed, has been for a longer while. Closing Critter Country is closing Pooh Corner. It's closing the Winnie the Pooh attraction and some shops. Otherwise, the Hungry Bear is open. That's it's actually a very nice restaurant. It sits open, and the path to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is still over there too. That's open. And I knew they weren't going to close that because that's a major entry point there. So there is, as of right now, as far as I know, there's no opening date for Critter Country. I don't think they're doing a whole lot in there. They're replacing some signage on some things there, and probably putting in some new merchandise in one or two of the shops. Otherwise, I don't know exactly what they're doing over there. And there was some thought that it might actually not be closed for very long. But now there's some thought that maybe it'll stay closed until Tiana's Bayou Adventure is ready to open. So there's that. That probably might be open by November. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I know Disney World is about 4 months ahead of us, but Disney World's Splash Mountain was also a bit bigger than Disneyland's, so I don't know if they actually have to do as much over in Anaheim as they did in Seriously? As they did in Florida. Okay. So, speaking of closed attractions, great Moments with Mr. Lincoln on Main Street went down for refurbishment on April 16th. And that's a good show. It's a relaxing show. I've fallen asleep in that a few times for a while. But yeah, I guess they're giving Abraham Lincoln some love in there. And that is set to open again on. Well, actually, there is no reopening date now that I think about it. So anyway, yeah, that's right there in the Opera House. That's unfortunate because that's a really nice air-conditioned place. I hope it reopens soon. In California Adventure, the Redwood Creeks Challenge Trail is under refurbishment. It should be back on June 20th. We'll see. It's been closed. I think it's been closed a while. Yeah. There was some stuff that needed to be fixed there that I don't even think was customer facing. But yeah. Also in the bakery tour is closed right now for refurbishment. And really, that should be reopening on June 1st. And China Cucamonga Grill, which is actually really good. I don't go there as often as I should be reopening on May 25th. I don't know if they're getting some new ovens or what, and I don't know if they're redoing their menu. But yeah, there's that. At the Disneyland Hotel, the coffee house is closed indefinitely, apparently, for now. They've said that about things before. They almost always end up reopening, but not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes things do stay closed from forever. Halloween time at the resort starts on August 23rd, 2004. The mansion will possibly be open by then, but they aren't showing it in any of the their holiday advertisements yet, so maybe not. Plaza de Familia also starts on August 23rd in California Adventure. So if you're making way to the parks this summer, remember to stay hydrated. Bring a water bottle. There are lots of, there's not a lot. There are a few spigots around the resort that will let you fill up your water with filtered water. And that's very helpful. There's probably still one at Alien Pizza Planet. They've changed the inside of that place a little bit and how it works. And I think I don't go in there very often because I don't like the food too much. The only reason I really went in there was for the water spigot. So I'm going to have to go in there and check that out to see how it's working now. But that was always nice. There's one at Plaza Inn on Main Street. And there's one at the Rancho del Zocola in Frontierland. It's not a good one. That's like getting water out of a hose. It's not a good one. Really. Yep. And there is one at, I think there's one at the Red Rose Tavern, I think. Let me think here. There's I wouldn't doubt there's one at Star Wars Land also someplace. Maybe Docking Bay 7 or something. Maybe. Let me think. Is there? No, I don't think there is. And there's one at the Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta in California Adventure. That's a good one too. But otherwise, at any quick service restaurant, you can order some ice water and they'll give it to you for free. I prefer the Starbucks locations in the park for that because they'll give you a venti size for free rather than the small little cup that every place else will give you. And their water is pretty darn good, and filtered. Um, Otherwise, yeah, just carry around a water bottle. Make sure you put on suntan lotion because it can get blazing hot down there. If you don't live there already, now you know. Got to protect your skin. Got to protect your kids if you got kids. And let's see, what else? Yeah, now if you're heading to the parks this summer and you want to learn more about the secrets of the parks, and I'm plugging myself here, make sure to check out my Choose Your Own Adventure series for the park, Adventures with Adam, the beginning. It's a detective story with Disneyland with the Disneyland Resort being the most extensive path. You can actually do several things in it, but that case is actually the most extensive. You can find it on my channel, Adventures with Adam, or Manly123. That's Manly1 spelled out as it sounds, and then the number digits 2 and 3. I really wish I'd chosen something else 24 years ago when I made this channel. But anyway, other than that, that's about it for the news that I had today about the resort. And I'm going to get back to work now because why not? Thank you for tuning in. If anybody ends up seeing this, I can't guarantee that anybody will. But otherwise, have a good, what is it, Monday? Is it still Monday? I think it's Monday. Yeah, Monday, May 13th. Okay. All right, and thank you for everybody. Have a good day. Alex says, what's up? Somebody says, yo. How do I turn this thing off? I don't know how I turn this off. That's interesting. Well, I wish I'd figured that out before I started it up, huh? Oh, there. Boop. Yep.